please give a big clap hand to welcome back our distinguished guest and our host today, Miss Vân.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Quý. Okay, so now let's get started. And now I would like to invite our expert to the panel today, Mr. Mai Đức Huy Trường, Mr. Huỳnh Thế Du, and Mr. Bùi Văn. Please welcome our guests. Gentlemen, it's really a big honor for me and also all the students here to have you here as our guest. So you already see our students submit their answers. The answer now is still a secret. But as your point of view, what did you expect them to choose in the game number 1? Maybe Mr. Chung.
So in the first game, what I expected actually is what the poll has been, the result of the poll has shown. Most of you are going to sell stock 1, which is the one that is winning, to realize again. And when the poll is about who sells stock 3, and we only got 1 and 2 answer. So that is already predicted behavior of investor in financial market. So the theory goes like this. When we are investor in the gain territory, meaning that you have a stock that is winning, the investor tend to become very risk averse. Very risk averse. The reason is that a little bit more gain doesn't make you as much happy as the first few gain. Okay, you bought it at 50 million, now it's 100 million. So you double your money, and then if you weigh a little bit more and you gain like 1 million more, it doesn't make a really big difference, given that you already gained 100% of your original money. But investors behave differently when they're in the loss territory. So stock 3 is decreasing in price. You bought it at 150, now it is 100 million. So you almost lost, 30% of your capital. And then what is your thinking right now about that stock? Okay, you now actually not risk averse anymore, but you become risk-seeking investor. You wait for the chance for the stock to get back in price so that you can, get a little bit back or, break even. That comes from the thinking that we are, we would regret if we make the sale of that stock. We'd rather put it there, we have a loss, but it's not yet lost. It's still unrealized loss. Okay, it's a paper loss. You haven't, but if you sell it, then you make a real loss.
So I would like to ask Mr. Huỳnh Thế Du. So if it were you, what will you choose?
Suppose that I were on behalf of somebody else, right? So I invest the money for 3 clients. The first one would give the stock with from 100 to 150 and go down to 100. And the second one from 100 to 100. And the third one from 50 to 100. So what should I sell? Please advise me. Yes, please.
Personally, I would sell the one that was falling. We make mistakes and choose wrong. The key to investing is to be disciplined and know when it's time to sell. If you're wrong, cut your losses, find a better place to put the money, and continue forward.
Okay, if I did that, right, my client would run away. Yes, because this guy, yes, making money loss. Right, so if I sold the gaining one, what would I do? I got pretty good, I think, commission, right? And my reputation would be good, right? So in this case, if my own money, what would I do? So if I sell from the 50 to 100, I gain a lot. I feel happy, right? If I sold from 150 to 100, I feel very painful. What should I do? That is, in this case, very fundamental concept. in economics or finance. It is we call loss aversion. So if we hold some stocks, it's falling, we are very reluctant to sell, just because we had to bear the loss immediately.
Yes, and Mr. Bùi Văn, because I want to know all our expert opinion, and then we will start. And then we will start to get more discussion about this. Please.
Why don't you think about? Why all the time you think about selling one, selling two, selling three? But how about selling all of them? I would sell 1/3 of stock 1, 1/3 of stock 2, and 1/3 of stock 3. Right, I think until Mr. Zhu and Ms. Cheung showed me that, yes, my behavior is predicted in the book. Because there's a book of behavioral economics. They say my behavior is, I don't want to close any door. If I have 3 stocks, I want to keep all 3. If I have 100 stocks, I'm going to keep all 100. And I keep selling 1% of each. And they say that, oh, Mr. Van, you as the person, you don't want to close any door. Maybe you know that if you close one door, you will manage the other door much better, much more efficient. But the person cannot decide to close what door, so I will keep on 3 stocks. I will sell 1/3 of each.
Yeah. You see, this is something that you cannot learn from the books. They said in this life, anything can happen. So now let's take a look at Team A and Team B answers, and then we will start discussing more about it. Please. Interesting, because they have a different opinion and different view of thinking. So I would like to ask Mr. Bùi Văn, how you think about their answer, Team A and Team B?
I think that's interesting that we see that 2 teams, they come up with 2 different decisions. When designing the game, we guess that somebody will sell 1, somebody will sell 2, and very, very little money, very little people will sell the one at the middle, the one no gain, no loss. But the next question is, why you keep an stock? No gain, no loss, nothing interesting for 26 months, and now you want to keep it for longer time, very boring.
I would like to ask Team 8, what is your base for this answer? Please, Team 8, where are you?
So we decided to sell stock number 3, that's number one, sorry. Sell stock number 1 because it was rising and we were expecting stock number 3, the top one, to rise again. So we wanted to sell the last one to gain profit and waiting for the first one to go up again.
Do you have any argument before you come up to that conclusion?
Well, I did hesitate because I think that stock 3 was losing a bit, but then again, stock market was never stable in the first place, so we decided to go with stock 1.
How about Team B?
Hi. We didn't all agree. One argued for selling stock number 2, but we came to the consensus of selling stock number 3. The reason we came to that consensus is because without any other information to tell us why stock 1 should be sold or not sold, is if it was a good price through 2-3 years ago at that price and it's still the same price and nothing else tells us that anything has changed, we should continue to assume it's a good price today. And whereas the one that's falling, again, without any extra information, we just would have to say that we must have been wrong about something.
Maybe in school, Mr. Cheung will tell that there's one concept he say is chasing the winner. For stock 1, you win 100%, you win double, and now you want to keep it to continue, expect that it will come up further.
I understand that theory. I've been brought up in the school of Warren Buffett, and one thing that I've always appreciated about Warren Buffett was that he understood that if he bought a good company and it was good when he bought it and it was good now, there's no reason to sell it just because you can take a profit today.
How about your other members? Are they all agree with you in this?
Again, no, one of our members wanted to sell stock number 2 because they felt that it was boring and it was flat, and therefore why keep it? And I can understand that argument, but if it was good 3 years ago at this price and nothing else changed, let's go ahead and say that it might still be good now.
Yes, but again, in these questions, the one thing that I really want to say is, how about you think this is your own money? What would you sell?
If this was my own money, I would definitely sell stock 3, no questions.
In this game, we make you assume that all money is yours. But the next game, you see the difference when the money is not your money.